Hey YouTube, call me Drock. I'm a world builder and sound designer for the online multiplayer game Alter Aeon. What I'd like to share with you today is a little preview of some of the sounds I've been coming up with for Alter Aeon's new Druid class. Now, these sounds haven't been approved or implemented yet, so what you hear today might be a little bit different from what actually gets put in the game. So, let's get started, shall we? First of all, when you're a Druid, you start off with a low-level spell called Gust from the air, or Gust of Wind from the Air group. And here's what it's going to sound like. That's a blast of air to knock back an opponent. Now next, you're going to have a spell called another low-level spell called Fist of the Earth, where you pull up pieces of rock out of the ground to slam into your opponents. So you get that crunch, and then with the blocks smacking together. Slightly higher level air spell called Dust Devil. This spell kicks up dust and debris thrown to the face of your enemies and can cause temporary blindness. Finally, this one's a little bit different. I usually try to have kind of a unifying theme for sounds in different classes, particularly across spell trees. For example, if you listen to a lot of the cleric sounds in Alter Aeon, they have a bell or a vocal component to them, and they sound kind of musical. So you can tell what a cleric spell, that's something the cleric spell because it has that component to it. Distinct from each other, yet all unified together by a common theme. So something I'm working with the there's a spell group for druids which involves manipulating, controlling, and taming animals. And what I'm going to use for that is this here flute. This is a Native American style flute with a drone. It can be played individually by itself, or it can be played with both sides. So, kind of like this. Here's by itself. And with the drone. Pretty simple. Can't make sound effects too long. You don't want them to linger. You want things to be cleansed out of the air pretty fast. So here's what I came up with for Mesmerize Animal. Very similar to just the raw recording of the flute, except I added a little bit of echo and reverb to it to give it a bit more body. Make it sound a bit more magical, if you will. Here's one for Control Animal. Alright, I'm going to give you a little bonus here. Is one of the things that Denton did, that's our implementer by the way, who made Alter Aeon, is he made a Control Weather group. Well, previously the Control Weather spell was part of the domain of clerics. So the Control Weather spell for clerics was repurposed into a curse called Despair. And it's kind of a funny little spell, as it makes a little rain cloud pop up above your head and rain and thunder on you. And it lowers the morale of the target who's been so cursed. So here's what I came up with for the revised version of Control Weather, aka Despair. So you get a little kind of spell casting sound in the beginning, which is a computer generated tone that I remodulated and fooled with to sound all spellcasty, followed by a little bit of thunder and rain. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview of upcoming Druid sounds. Like I said, I'm not sure if these are going to be the final versions of these that will end up in the game, but I hope you enjoyed the preview nonetheless. So, you guys, come please check us out at alteraeon.com and check out our new Druid class.